Whether you like supercars or hypercars, some new cars are consistently pushing the boundaries of what cars can do. For this video, we've put together what are arguably the newest crazy fast cars, both present and upcoming near future. Here's one that will definitely require you to fasten your seatbelts. Aston Martin Valkyrie. Aston Martin finally got its hands on the hypercar game, with this one taking its name from Norse mythology. It is worth saying that the British car maker did not make a mistake. From looks to performance, the 2022 Valkyrie is a beastly, performance-driven aerodynamic hypercar. There are two options for this car, with the standard one being approved for regular street driving and the higher AMR Pro variant restricted to track driving. Yes, it is that fast. The AMR Pro variant will only have 25 cars produced, with several custom touches specific to each buyer's taste. Still though, even the base Valkyrie is enough to fill the hunger of any thrill-seeking adrenaline lover. While Aston Martins are popular for being more toned down in design, the brand pulled out all the stops with the Valkyrie, looking like it could take off at some point. It runs on a hybrid powertrain that combines a 6.5-liter V12 engine with an electric motor to produce 1,160 horsepower. The track-sanctioned AMR Pro gets the same powertrain, except that it gets modifications to the powertrain and a lighter curb weight to boost its performance and sheer power. The hypercar will start at a selling price of around $3 million. Hang on though, it gets even more interesting as we go on. Pagani Utopia. If the breathtaking design was a car, then the 2023 Pagani Utopia will be a winner for the title with this setup. A lot of its styling is heavily based on the brand's previous Kaya-Hura lineup, but Pagani says that everything about the Utopia is structurally brand new. The Utopia is powered by an AMG-designed twin-turbocharged 6-liter V12 engine that puts out a whopping 852 horsepower. As you would expect of a hypercar in this class, it will also be limited edition, with just 99 units produced. The company intends to keep production at 1 car a week at its factory in Modena, Italy. Deliveries of this beauty will start sometime in 2023, and according to the marketing director at Pagani, all the units have already been assigned to owners at the whopping $2.5 million price. If you were shocked by the sticker price of this car, wait and see the next one. Koenigsegg Gemera. Well, things get a little more interesting with the Koenigsegg Gemera, a vehicle that brings all the fun and thrill of a hypercar to the entire family, or at least close enough. The Gemera is the first hypercar in the world that is a complete 4-seater. While it may not be the quickest car on the list, it gets top scores for being such a practical hypercar in both design and the value of what it offers. The Gemera still embodies everything fans already love about Koenigsegg in its 2-liter twin-turbocharged 3-cylinder engine that combines with 3 electric motors to produce a total of 1,700 horsepower. Considering a 4-seater that takes you from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 1.9 seconds. These specs see the Gemera on the topmost floor of powerful hybrids in production. Pininfarina Battista. As is characteristic of the best-selling hypercars, the design of the Pininfarina Battista is a masterpiece to behold and is even better to drive. The performance specs on this hypercar are very well matched up with its design. The 4 electric motors on each wheel of the Battista produce an almost unreal 1,877 horsepower. Battery performance is even more impressive with its 120 kilowatt-hour battery pack. The brand claims a whopping 97% of this battery is usable by the car. This is a very much higher percentage than anything we have seen. The range from this battery should last about 230 miles of driving on a single charge. With a limited number of 150 units total, Battista began selling for over $2.2 million just this year. Lotus Evija. On the topic of pushing the boundaries of what is achievable on an automobile, you can hardly look past the Lotus Evija. This is an all-electric hypercar that is out to steal the attention of major hypercar-loving elites. We'll just cut to the chase and jump right into what we consider the most insane thing about this vehicle and its powertrain performance. Lotus has stated that the 4 electric motors on the EVA will produce 1,972 horsepower, with the top speed set to exceed 200 miles per hour. Expectations are set high for just how swift this car will be. The brand is still yet to release details on the battery pack, but they do believe that it will get drivers as much as 250 miles on a single charge. As you would expect, it will cost upwards of $2 million. Aerial hypercar. Here's a supercar that looks like it was designed for Batman. From the propulsion that this vehicle will offer to the specs, everything about the all-electric aerial hypercar is worth a second look. The aerial hypercar runs on 4 electric motors that power each wheel. These motors combine to produce 1,180 horsepower. To keep things as quick as physically possible, the brand says that it hopes to shed the weight on the hypercar to as low as 3,305 pounds. A 56 kilowatt-hour battery pack will be running the beastly performance of the hypercar. As a plus, Aerial is also fitting a jet engine onto the car to act as a range extender. This is bound to give a big bump in the already decent 150-mile range. However, the exact number is yet to be revealed. This one should cost around $1 million and be ready for sale sometime in 2024. Rimac Nevera. How does 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 1.85 seconds sound? Impossible to pull off, right? Wrong. The Rimac Nevera is an all-electric hypercar that takes hyper to a new level with its specs and performance. Starting with the range, the battery pack of the Nevera is a 117 kilowatt-hour battery that has an EPA rated to last you 205 miles on a single charge. And how does it perform that amazing 0 to 60 record? Well, that comes to the very well-modified 4 electric motors that put out a whopping 1,813 horsepower. An interesting fact to point out is that the maximum output of this car is actually set at 1,877 horsepower. However, only the 1,813 is usable. All of this fun and joy comes at a price point of around $2 million, only if you can get your hands on one of the limited 150 units. Koenigsegg CC850. Koenigsegg CC850 is a hypercar that does not look like a lot on the outside, considering that it draws inspiration from the brand's first 2002 release. But it is bound to blow your mind once you look under the hood. The supercar was built to mark the 20th anniversary of the brand, and it is well worth a celebration. The CC850 is powered by a twin-turbo 5-liter V8 engine that misses a flywheel, hence getting an almost immediate response to the throttle. If you get regular fuel in the tank, you'll be getting lesser performance at 1,169 brake horsepower. However, once you fill up the tank with E85 fuel, you'll be maximizing that estimated 1,363 brake horsepower that this engine is capable of putting out. There are 3 different drive modes spanning across normal, wet, and track on the Engage Shift System manual gearbox setup. This manual system is set up to offer different gear ratios according to the driving mode. There are a ton of customization features that can be put on the CC850, and despite its pretty amazing power, the brand says that it is prioritizing driver satisfaction on this one. Estrema Fulminea. It is hypercars like the Estrema Fulminea that raise the question of just how much horsepower is too much horsepower. The Fulminea is evidence that there is no such thing as too much horsepower in the vocabulary of automobilia Estremia. The battery setup here is also very noteworthy. The brand has also stated that the Fulminea will run on a solid-state lithium battery pack in tandem with ultra-capacitors that make up 100 kilowatt-hours of battery capacity and an amazing 323 miles of range on a single charge. Alright, now to the elephant in the room. Want to guess just how much horsepower the 4 electric motors of the Fulminea will produce? It is a whopping 2,011 horsepower. Estremia also expects to go from 0 to 200 miles per hour in just 10 seconds. The first set of deliveries of only 61 units that will be produced is expected to start by the first half of 2023. We're really looking forward to how Streamia delivers on these bizarre numbers and features. The price you pay for one of the 61 units is expected to be around $2 million. Hennessy Venom F5 Roadster. According to Hennessy, its all-new Venom F5 Roadster is an all-new hypercar designed and built from the ground up with one goal in mind: to be the absolute fastest road car on Earth. Is this even possible? This is not for us to say, considering the level of innovation that goes into the market each year. But this doesn't take away the fact that the specs on this one are nothing short of amazing. A 6.6-liter twin-turbo V8 engine that is rear mid-mounted and produces a whopping 1,817 horsepower. Combining this sheer power with its very aerodynamic design and lightweight that is just under 3,000 pounds. This hypercar is well on its way to being the fastest production car on sale. And the price? You must have at least $2 million to be able to order it.